Bombings, protests, generations growing up in fear. The Israel-Palestine conflict is one of the longest and most controversial disputes in modern history. But how did it all begin? And why does peace seem impossible? In the early 1900s, the region we now call Israel and Palestine was part of the Ottoman Empire, mostly inhabited by Arab Muslims, Christians, and a small Jewish minority. After World War I, Britain took control of Palestine. In 1917, the Balfour Declaration promised to support a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine, fueling large waves of Jewish immigration, especially during and after the Holocaust. This created tension with the Arab population, who feared being displaced from their land. In 1947, the United Nations proposed splitting Palestine into two states, one Jewish, one Arab. Jews accepted the plan. Arabs rejected it. When Israel declared independence in 1948, 5 Arab nations invaded. Israel survived, but in the process over 700,000 Palestinians were displaced. This is known as the Nakba, or catastrophe, by Palestinians. Israel gained even more land than the UN originally gave it, and the Palestinian refugee crisis began. In the 1967 Six-Day War, Israel captured the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem, areas Palestinians consider part of their future state. Israel began building settlements in these territories, considered illegal under international law. Palestinian frustration exploded in the form of intifadas, or uprisings, in 1987 and 2000, featuring protests, clashes, and violence on both sides. Meanwhile, Hamas, a Palestinian militant group, gained power in Gaza, launching rockets, prompting Israeli blockades and airstrikes. In the 1990s, there was a moment of hope, the Oslo Accords, aiming to create a two-state solution. But peace was fragile. Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin was assassinated by a Jewish extremist, while Hamas rejected the peace process altogether. The violence continued. Israel built a separation wall, expanded settlements, and kept Gaza under blockade. In recent years, Gaza has faced repeated wars, devastating airstrikes, and humanitarian collapse. Hamas rockets and Israeli airstrikes have killed thousands, many of them civilians. Tensions exploded again in October 2023, when Hamas launched a deadly surprise attack, leading to one of the deadliest Israeli retaliations in Gaza's history. Civilians on both sides continue to pay the price. This conflict isn't just about land, it's about identity, history, and trauma passed down through generations. This cycle of violence won't end until both Israelis and Palestinians are seen, not as enemies, but as human beings, equally deserving of peace, dignity, and justice. What do you think it will take for the world to finally see that? Share your thoughts in the comments.